The Earth was quiet, too quiet. The sky, once blue and full of life, was now dark, covered in smoke and fire. Alien ships flew over cities, their lights glowing like angry eyes. Buildings were broken. Roads were cracked. Silence filled the air, but it was not peace. It was death. The Xarn Empire had arrived. No warning, no mercy. In just 7 days, they took over the planet. People tried to fight, but human weapons were useless. Tanks exploded like toys. Fighter jets fell from the sky like stones. The Xarn were tall, strong, and fast. Their skin was like black armor. Their eyes glowed red. They spoke no words, only commands, and their machines obeyed without question. The aliens sent a message to the galaxy. It was short. Humanity is finished. Earth belongs to the Xarn Empire. The message played on every screen, on every planet. Other alien races watched and laughed. The humans had always been loud, proud, and stubborn. Now, they were gone. But under the broken city of New York, deep beneath the rubble, something moved. A metal door opened with a hiss. Inside, the air was clean, the lights still working. A man stepped out. His hair was short, his face full of scars. His name was Colonel Rayner, and he was not dead. He looked at the empty control room. Dust covered the chairs and screens. It had been years since anyone came here. He walked to the center and placed his hand on a scanner. The system woke up. Lights turned on. Screens showed maps, data, and the face of an AI. Its voice was cold, but calm. "Welcome back, Colonel Rayner." Rayner spoke slowly. "Are we the last?" The AI paused. "No, there are others. Hidden, waiting, ready." Rayner smiled, but it was not a happy smile. It was sharp, cold. "They think it's over," he whispered. "But now it begins." The AI opened a secret file. It was called Black Phoenix. It showed hidden bunkers across the world. Secret weapons, robot drones, power suits, all built in silence, away from the world's eyes. Rayner remembered the project. Years ago, Earth leaders feared an alien attack, so they'd built this program, just in case. Most people never knew. Even the governments had forgotten. But now, Black Phoenix was their only hope. Rayner sent a signal. It was short, coded, and silent. Across the world, in dark places, other survivors woke up. In the old mines of Australia, in the ice caves of Antarctica, in deep sea labs under the Atlantic, people received the call. Rayner stood in front of the camera. His face was hard, his voice steady. "This is Colonel Rayner. If you're hearing this, you are part of Black Phoenix. Earth has fallen, but we are not finished. The Xarn think they won. Let's show them what humans do after defeat. We fight." The camera shut off. The message was sent. Meanwhile, on the Xarn flagship above Earth, the aliens watched their victory celebration. They drank blue liquid and roared in strange alien joy. Their leader, Warlord Krizar, stood tall on the command deck. He raised his hand, and the noise stopped. "Earth is ours," he said. "The humans were weak, soft. We gave them a gift. A clean death." All the aliens laughed again. On the big screen behind him, Earth rotated slowly. Flames still burned across continents. The Xarn had placed flags on the ruins of every major city. They sent drones to search for survivors. But they were sure none were left. To them, the war was over. But Krizar did not know what was happening underground. He did not know that Black Phoenix was awake. Colonel Rayner watched the Xarn broadcast. His eyes did not blink. His jaw was tight. "They celebrate too early," he said. "We are still here." The AI spoke again. "They will leave Earth in 3 days. They think their job is done." Rayner nodded. "Then we use that time. We gather. We build. We strike." A loud sound echoed in the bunker. A large wall opened, showing a hidden hangar. Inside were machines, robotic suits with human shape, drones with spinning blades, weapons powered by energy cores. Raynor walked through the machines. He touched one of the suits. It hummed with life. He turned to the few people who had arrived. Engineers, old soldiers, young fighters. "Listen up," he said. "We're not just survivors. We're soldiers. Earth is our home, and we're taking it back. No more hiding. No more running. From this day, we fight back. And we don't stop until every Xarn ship burns in the sky." No one cheered. They just nodded. Their faces were tired, but their eyes held fire. The real war had just begun. And this time, humanity would not fight to survive. They would fight to win. Colonel Raynor stood inside the control room of the hidden bunker. Around him, screens showed maps of Earth. Red marks showed destroyed cities. Blue dots showed secret bunkers still hidden underground. He stared at them. His mind was sharp. Time was short. How many survivors?" he asked. 17 bunkers still active. Around 2,000 humans total, the eye replied. Most are trained. Some are scientists. Some are soldiers. A few civilians. Raynor nodded. "That's enough. Wake them. Bring them in." The AI sent signals through old hidden cables buried deep under the earth. Messages reached bunkers in mountains, under oceans, and frozen in ice. One by one, lights turned green. Survivors were coming. Within hours, people began to arrive at Raynor's bunker. Some were old, some young. Many had not seen daylight in years, but they all looked the same, tired, hungry, but full of quiet strength. They carried small bags, old weapons or tools. They greeted each other with short nods. There was no time for joy. Raynor stood in front of them. His voice was calm, but strong. "The aliens think we're dead," he said. "But we're still here. We're not just alive. We're angry." No one spoke, but their eyes watched him closely. He pointed to the back wall. It opened slowly, showing a massive hangar filled with machines. Robotic suits stood in rows. Drones hung from the ceiling like sleeping bats. Weapons lined the walls. All untouched, all waiting. "This is Black Phoenix," Raynor said, "built in secret. For this moment." A short man stepped forward. His name was Carter. He was an engineer. "These suits, they still work." The AI answered. "Fully operational. Power at 92%. Weapons systems ready. Flight modules active. Neural links online." Carter looked at Raynor. "We can fight." Raynor nodded. "Yes. But we must move fast. The Xarn leave Earth in 3 days. That's when we strike." A tall woman with sharp eyes stepped forward. Her name was Juno. She was a sniper from the Arctic base. "Strike where?" "Their comm station," Raynor replied. "It controls their signals, their drones, and their radar. If we take it out, they go blind." The room went quiet. Everyone understood. This was war. Raynor continued. "We hit them hard. We hit them fast. Then we disappear. No large battles. Not yet. We bleed them piece by piece." Another screen lit up. It showed the comm station. It was a large alien tower, glowing blue, built in the ruins of London. Xarn guards walked around it, and drones flew above. "We'll split into 5 teams," Raynor said. 1 attack team. 4 support teams. We strike at night." Juno smiled. "Good. Let's remind them what humans can do." Over the next 2 days, the bunker came to life. Lights stayed on day and night. People trained. Soldiers tested suits. Engineers fixed drones. Scientists worked on weapons. The AI helped everyone, giving data, maps, and attack plans. Raynor spent hours training alone. He moved inside one of the exosuits. It was strong but fast. With it, he could lift a car and run like a cheetah. It responded to his thoughts, like it was part of his body. He felt young again, alive again. Carter worked with the drones. He added small blades to some. Others were fitted with explosives. They'll never see these coming, he laughed. Juno cleaned her rifle and practiced with the suit's sniper mode. She could shoot a target from a mile away, even through smoke or walls. By the second night, they were ready. Raynor stood in front of the group again. "This is not just about revenge," he said. "It's about taking back our home. This is not the end of our story. This is the beginning." Everyone was silent. Then slowly, one by one, they raised their fists. Raynor smiled. "Let's go." At midnight, 5 ships rose from the ground in silence. They flew low, under radar, toward London. Inside, the teams sat quietly. Some checked weapons, some prayed. Others stared at pictures of loved ones, long gone. In the sky above, alien ships floated, unaware. The Xarn were still celebrating. The human ships landed outside London ruins. The teams moved like ghosts. No sound, no mistakes. They reached the comms tower. It glowed in the night like a giant blue eye. Raynor whispered, "Team 1, go." Juno's team moved in. They climbed walls, cut wires, placed charges. "Team 2, prepare drone launch," Carter said over comms. Tiny drones rose into the air and flew toward alien guards. Suddenly, an alien screamed. The fight began. Raynor and his team charged. The exosuits moved like lightning. Guns fired. Explosions lit the sky. Aliens fell. Drones flew through windows, detonating inside. Within minutes, the comms tower shook. Juno's voice came over the radio. "Charges set. Moving out. Everyone fall back." Raynor shouted. The humans escaped into the night just as the tower exploded behind them. Blue light filled the sky. The tower cracked and fell. Smoke still rose from the ruins of the Xarn comms tower. Its blue lights had gone dark. The sky above London was quiet now, but only for a moment. High in orbit, inside the Xarn flagship, alarms screamed. Red lights flashed across every screen. Officers ran to their stations. Warlord Krezar stood at the center, eyes glowing red with anger. "Who did this?" he roared. One officer replied, voice shaking, "Humans. It was humans." Krezar's face twisted in rage. "Impossible. Earth is broken. They were destroyed." Another officer brought up video from the destroyed tower. Blurry images showed fast-moving suits, flying drones, and weapons far stronger than expected. "These are not normal humans," the officer said. "They're using secret technology." Krezar slammed his fist on the console. "Then find them. Burn everything. I want survivors found. I want them crushed." On Earth, Colonel Raynor and his team returned to the hidden bunker. No one cheered. No one smiled. But every face was proud. They had done it. They had hit that Xarn hard. And they had escaped. In the control room, the AI gave the report. Xarn forces are confused. Their drones are down. Their radar is blind for the next 48 hours. Raynor nodded. "That gives us time." Juno leaned on a table, her sniper rifle in hand. "They'll come for us now. They'll tear this planet apart." Raynor looked around. "Let them. They won't find us. Not yet." Carter laughed from the corner. "Did you see their faces when that tower fell? Priceless." Raynor smiled, just a little. "It's not about faces. It's about fear. We need to put fear into them." That same night, the Xarn sent ships across the planet. Massive walkers, shaped like spiders, stomped through forests and deserts. Scout drones flew low, scanning every hill, every city, every cave. Villages burned. Old buildings collapsed. The aliens thought the humans were hiding in the ruins, but they were wrong. Raynor's people had already moved. The bunker was empty now. The survivors had split into smaller groups, using old subway tunnels, mountain caves, and underwater paths. The AI controlled many of these safe spots remotely. Rayner's orders were clear: stay hidden, stay mobile, and keep striking. One group, led by Juno, was already setting traps. They placed bombs in old roads. They rigged ruins to collapse. They left fake signs and false signals to confuse the Tarn. Carter stayed back at a new hidden base, building more drones. He worked fast, barely sleeping. His fingers moved over wires and circuits. If we had 5 more engineers, he mumbled, we could make an army. Still, he kept building. The humans didn't need numbers. They needed surprise. 2 days later, Rayner got news. Sarn patrol spotted near the old Paris ruins, said the AI. They've set up a forward base. Rayner nodded. Time to hit them again. He chose 12 fighters. Fast, trained, ready. They moved in silence through the broken streets of Paris. The Eiffel Tower was gone now, just a twisted metal skeleton. But it was the perfect place for a trap. Rayner placed charges under the ground. Juno climbed to a high spot. The others surrounded the alien base quietly. At sunset, the trap was ready. Rayner gave the signal. Boom! The ground under the Tarn base exploded. 2 walkers fell into the pit. Drones flew in panic. Juno picked off the guards one by one from above. The rest of the team stormed in. In just 15 minutes, the base was gone. Flames lit the night sky. Back on the Tarn flagship, Krezar stared at the new report. This is not war, he growled. This is a game of rats. They hit and vanish, one officer said. Like shadows. Krezar raised his arm. No more shadows. Send the firestorms. Burn the lands. Starve them. And so, the Tarn changed their plan. They sent massive flying machines into the sky. These ships released fire from above, burning forests, fields, and rivers. They destroyed water sources. They poisoned food stores. They weren't looking for humans anymore. They wanted to kill the land. Rayner watched the news from a screen in a deep ice cave. They're not stupid, he said. They know they can't catch us, so they destroy what we need. The AI spoke. At this rate, Earth will be unlivable in 3 weeks. Rayner clenched his fists. Then we need to push harder. We need something big. Something they can't ignore. Carter entered the room, holding a device. His face was full of excitement. I found something, he said. Before the war, there was a weapon test facility under the Rockies, still sealed, still powered. There's a prototype inside. Not just suits or drones, something bigger. Rayner raised an eyebrow. Bigger how? Carter grinned. A mech, 50 feet tall. Nuclear-powered, strong enough to crush a walker like a bug. Snow blew hard across the Rocky Mountains. The wind howled like wolves. But deep under the ice and stone, something waited. Buried in an old human facility was a machine built for war. A secret weapon, never used, until now. Colonel Rayner and his team stood outside a thick steel door half buried in ice. Carter pressed a small device into the control panel. It blinked red, then green. With a loud groan, the doors opened. Cold air rushed out, along with dust from a forgotten world. They stepped inside. The tunnel was dark and narrow. Lights flickered as the AI activated old systems. Ice melted slowly from the walls. Electric hums returned to life. Facility power at 64%. The AI said, "Weapon vault is sealed but stable." Rayner nodded. "Take us there." They walked deeper into the mountain. The walls were covered in rust. Old warning signs said, "Danger. Titien prototype." No one had been here in over 20 years. At the end of the tunnel, a large round chamber opened before them. Everyone stopped. There it stood, Titan 1. The machine was over 50 feet tall, painted in old army green. Its arms were thick like tree trunks. On one side, it had a plasma cannon. On the other, a huge blade folded against its arm. The head was shaped like a helmet, and its eyes were long dark glass. Carter smiled like a kid. "She's beautiful." Raynor looked up in silence. "She's our hammer." The AI scanned the mech. Core is stable. Power at 48%. Full charge possible in 36 hours. "Good," Raynor said. "Start charging. We move soon." As the team began preparing the Titan, others outside kept watch. Xarn scout ships were now flying across the mountains. They were searching, but they hadn't found the facility yet. Inside, engineers worked fast. Carter connected fuel lines and battery cables. Sparks flew as energy flowed into the massive machine. Juno tested the defense systems. Shields are low, but guns are good. Raynor stood by the mech's foot. "This time, we fight their fire with fire." By nightfall, the Titan's eyes lit up. Bright white beams in the dark. It was waking up. The AI spoke again. "Pilot needed for neural sync. Warning, high risk. Only trained minds can link fully." Raynor stepped forward. "I'll do it." Juno looked at him. "It could kill you." "I know," Raynor said, "but I'm not dead yet." He entered the cockpit inside the Titan's chest. It was tight and full of wires, screens, and blinking lights. A helmet dropped down from above. He placed it on his head. "Begin sync," he said. Pain flashed through his mind. The machine connected to his brain. Images rushed into him. Memories, maps, weapons data, old commands. His body shook. Then silence. He opened his eyes and saw through the Titan's eyes. He moved his hand. The Titan's hand moved too. Raynor smiled. "I've got control." Outside, the mountain rumbled. Juno ran to the radar. Xarn patrols approaching fast. They're scanning the valley. Raynor's voice came through the Titan speakers. "Then it's time to say hello." The huge doors opened. The Titan stepped out into the snow. Xarn scout ships spotted it immediately. They sent warnings to orbit. On the flagship, Warlord Krezar received the signal. "A giant human machine. Heading our way," the officer said. Krezar narrowed his eyes. "Destroy it." Dozens of alien drones flew toward the mountain. Some were fast, like metal birds. Others were heavy, with long laser cannons. Raynor saw them coming. He stepped forward. The snow cracked under the Titan's feet. Then he ran. The giant machine moved faster than expected. It smashed through trees and leaped onto a flat mountain ridge. Drones opened fire. Lasers cut the air. Explosions burst around him. Raynor lifted the plasma cannon. Boom! A wave of blue energy shot from the Titan's arm and burned through 5 drones at once. More came. He jumped, landing on a drone carrier. Metal twisted. Alien parts flew in all directions. Then he swung the arm blade, cutting a walker in 2. The battle was loud, fast, brutal. Inside the Titan, Raynor's heart pounded. He felt pain in his head. The machine was strong, but it wanted more from him. "Don't break now," he whispered. On the ground, Juno and Carter watched from a cliff. "He's holding," Carter said. "Barely." "He's not done yet," Juno said. Above them, alien reinforcements arrived. A massive Xarn ship hovered. Its underbelly opened, revealing a mega cannon. "Warning," the AI said. "High-energy weapon charging. Impact in 20 seconds." Raynor looked up through the Titan's eyes. The sky turned red. "Time to gamble," he muttered. He sprinted forward. The Titan jumped, higher than any human machine had jumped before, straight toward the Xarn ship. The cannon fired. Raynor twisted midair. The blast missed him by inches. Then, boom. He landed on the ship, stabbing the blade deep into its core. Sparks flew. The Titan's plasma cannon lit up again. One last blast. The Xarn ship exploded, lighting up the sky like a second sun. Raynor fell with it, but the Titan's boosters fired just in time. He landed hard, shaking the earth, but alive. The Xarn pulled back. On the flagship, Warlord Krezar watched the screen in silence. That was not possible. But it was. Humanity had a Titan now, and the galaxy had just seen what it could do. The night after the Titan battle was quiet, but it didn't feel safe. Deep under the earth, Raynor lay inside the cockpit, eyes closed, breathing slow. The Titan stood still, powered down for repairs. Its armor was scorched, one arm cracked, but it was still standing. Juno stood beside it, looking up. "He did it," she whispered. Carter nodded. "Yeah, but how long can he keep doing it?" Raynor had pushed the machine to its limits. His body and mind were connected to the Titan. It made him strong, but it also burned him inside. The AI said too many battles like that could kill him. In the command room of their new mountain base, the survivors gathered. A map of Earth showed red zones, areas burned, poisoned, or locked down by the Xarn. But now one spot was marked in blue. The Titan Strike Zone. It was a message. Humans could still fight. And now, others had noticed. Across the planet, small human groups hiding in forests, ruins, and deep seas saw the footage. The Titan had been caught on video by old satellites. People began to believe again. They started calling Raynor by a new name, the Iron Ghost. Hope began to spread. But so did danger. Warlord Krezar had called for backup from the Xarn's outer fleet. A new commander arrived on Earth, Zeltak, a cold strategist with no emotion and no mercy. He did not shout like Krezar. He simply said, "Crush their minds. Break their faith. Then the body will fall." Zeltak launched a new kind of war, one made of whispers and fear. He sent infiltration bots into human networks. Fake messages were spread. Raynor is dead. The Titan is broken. The Xarn will bring peace. The goal was to confuse and divide the survivors. Raynor, recovering in the medbay, heard about the lies. He sat up slowly, face pale, body shaking, but his eyes were sharp. "We hit back. We show them the truth." Carter had an idea. "Let's hijack their broadcast tower. Push a live message. Let Earth see the Iron Ghost is still alive." Juno grinned. "And maybe blow up some Xarn while we're at it." They planned fast. There was an old Xarn-controlled tower in the ruins of Cairo. It was used to send signals to their ships. If they could take it for just 10 minutes, the AI could override the signal and broadcast to Earth. Raynor wanted to lead the mission, but he was still too weak. So he sent Juno, Carter, and a small strike team. The journey to Cairo was rough. Dust storms covered the city. Xarn scouts moved in packs, but the team slipped past them, using old tunnels and forgotten paths. At night, they reached the tower. It stood like a spear in the sky, glowing blue. Drones circled it. Alien guards walked the perimeter. Juno looked at the others. "No mistakes. We get in, send the message, blow it up, and vanish." Carter planted explosives at the base. The others climbed the tower, fighting silently. Juno took out 2 guards with her blade. Carter hacked the control room. You're in." The AI connected to the tower. Lights flickered. The screen buzzed, then cleared. Across the planet, humans who still had power saw the broadcast. Raynor's face appeared on the screen. "This is Colonel Raynor," he said, voice strong. "The fight is not over. I'm alive. The Titan still stands. Humanity still stands. We will not kneel." His image stayed on screen for 6 minutes before the signal was cut. Then, boom! The tower exploded in flames, falling like a dying star. Zeltak watched the fire from orbit. "They spread hope like a virus," he said coldly. "Then we burn it out." He sent a new order: capture Raynor alive. Break him. Show the humans their hero defeated. Xarn elite hunters were deployed. They were faster, smarter, and invisible to most scanners. They were called Nightblades. One night, Raynor sat alone outside the Titan, staring at the stars. He felt the cold air and the weight of command. Then he heard something, a sound too soft for the wind. He stood slowly. His hand moved toward his weapon. Too late. A blade sliced through the air. Raynor dodged, barely. Sparks flew. A shadow moved fast. Another slash came from behind. He rolled and fired. The blast hit nothing. Invisible. He tapped his comm. "We're under attack." Juno and Carter rushed out. The AI activated emergency lights. Red beams scanned the area. Then they saw it. A shape, tall, thin, with glowing red eyes. It moved like a ghost. Another appeared behind it. 2 night blades. Raynor fought with all his strength, but he was still weak. Juno fired her rifle, hitting one in the leg. It screamed, then vanished again. Carter used an EMP blast. The area pulsed with blue light. The night blades dropped to one knee, visible for a second. Raynor didn't wait. He fired straight into the chest of the closest one. Boom! It fell backward dead. The second one escaped into the dark. Raynor dropped to the ground, breathing hard. "They're not just hunting us," he said. "They're hunting me." Carter helped him up. "They want to break the symbol." Raynor looked at the stars again. "Then let's give them a symbol they can never forget." The war was no longer just about survival. It was about belief. And the Iron Ghost was not done yet. The world had started to change. After Raynor's message in the fall of the Xarn Tower, small human groups all across Earth began to rise. They didn't have titans. They didn't have big weapons. But now, they had something else. Hope. In the forests of South America, old soldiers began training young fighters. In Africa, villagers hacked Xarn supply ships and shared food with others. In the oceans, submarine crews returned to the surface, ready to join the fight. They all had one name on their lips: the Iron Ghost. Raynor's legend was growing fast. People painted his symbol on walls, machines, and armor. The Xarn tried to erase it, but each time they did, 10 more showed up. In the mountain base, the team was busy. The Titan was being repaired again. Raynor, still weak from the last attack, now worked in the command room, helping lead the growing resistance. Juno walked in with a report. "We're getting more messages every hour. There are new resistance groups in China, Germany, and the Pacific. They want to link up." Raynor looked at the map. "If we can connect them, we become an army." The AI spoke. "Incoming signal from orbit. It's not Xarn. It's encrypted in old Earth code." Everyone froze. Raynor nodded. "Put it through." The screen lit up. A man appeared. His face was scared, but his eyes were sharp. Behind him were humans in spacesuits. "This is Commander Alvarez," the man said. "We're a hidden Earth fleet. We escaped when the invasion started. We've been waiting, hiding behind the moon. But now, we see Earth is fighting back." Raynor smiled. "You picked the right time." Alvarez leaned in. "We've got 3 warships and 2 old drop pods. If you give us a landing zone, we can join the battle." Raynor stood. "Welcome to the fight." The plan was simple. The fleet would land in a secret desert zone. Resistance groups from across the world would move to that area. They would build a real base, one big enough to hold the Titan, the dropships, and thousands of fighters. It would be the first true human stronghold since Earth fell. But the Xarn were watching. On the flagship, Geltak studied the reports. "Their spark is growing. We must crush it before it becomes fire." He sent a new weapon to Earth, the Storm Maw, a floating fortress, armed with plasma storms and guided by HFY. It would search the desert, destroy the base, and erase the humans for good. Back on Earth, the resistance worked fast. Old machines were pulled from bunkers, tank shells were cleaned, energy rifles recharged, drones repaired, and messages flew across the sky, telling every human who could still move, "Come now." Raynor stood at the front gate as new fighters arrived. Some were kids, some were old, some wore scraps of armor. Others came with cyber arms, burned faces, or limping legs, but all of them carried the same thing in their eyes: fire. He welcomed them one by one. At night, around the campfires, people told stories of families lost, of cities burned, of battles won, and all of them ended the same. We thought we had nothing left, but now we have each other. Then one evening, the sky turned red. The storm Maw had arrived. It was larger than any Earth ship, shaped like a floating beast with long metal arms and spinning plasma orbs. It hovered over the desert, sending out waves of electric shock and clouds of poison gas. Raynor looked up. Here we go. The Titan had just enough power left to fight once more. Not at full strength, but enough to stand. Raynor stepped into the cockpit. The neural sync began. His head pounded, but he pushed through it. Juno and Carter led ground forces. The old Earth fleet fired missiles from orbit. Tanks rolled across the sand. And from the center of it all, the Titan roared to life. The battle began. Lightning fell from the storm Maw. Raynor dodged left, then right. Plasma hit the ground, turning sand to glass. He fired the Titan's cannon. One of the orbs exploded, but two more kept spinning. Fighters ran under the machine's legs. Drones swarmed above. A unit of kids from Brazil hacked the enemy shields, lowering them for 10 seconds. That was all Raynor needed. He jumped. The Titan flew up into the heart of the beast. Inside the storm Maw, the Hive AI activated defense bots. They swarmed him like insects. Raynor used the blade arm, cutting them down one by one. Then he reached the core. He placed a charge on it. "Say goodbye," he whispered. Boom! The core exploded. The Titan burst out of the storm Maw's side, flames behind him. The fortress cracked in half and began to fall, crashing into the sand like a dying god. The desert lit up with cheers. The storm Maw was gone. The base still stood, and Earth had won its biggest victory yet. Later that night, Raynor sat with Juno and Carter, staring at the stars. He looked tired, but calm. "We've started something," he said. "Something bigger than us." Carter nodded. "The world is waking up." Juno smiled. "And it's angry." Raynor looked at the Titan in the distance. The final storm is coming. And they would be ready. The desert air was cold, but the sky burned with fire. Zarn ships had started landing everywhere. After the storm Maw's destruction, Geltak sent the full invasion force to Earth. Thousands of war machines now dropped from the sky. The real war had begun. Raynor stood on top of a hill, watching the horizon glow red. Behind him, the desert base was filled with human fighters. Some were building defenses, some were cleaning weapons. Others just sat, staring at the stars, waiting. The final battle was close. The Iron Ghost was ready. The Titan stood tall beside him, armor glowing, fully repaired. It had new weapons, missiles, energy blades, and plasma shields, all powered by the best tech the Earth fleet could find. Juno and Carter came up the hill. "They're landing near Old Mexico City," Juno said. "Big force. Geltak's flagship is there." Raynor nodded. "That's where we hit." Carter handed him a new map. "We strike fast. We go straight for the heart. We take Geltak down." But it wouldn't be easy. The Karn had built a war zone around the city. Their machines walked like giants through broken streets. Their gun towers lit up the skies. Their fighters flew low, hunting anything that moved. It would take more than one Titan to break through. But now, Earth had more than one. In the shadows of the base, 5 smaller Titans stood ready. Not as strong as Raynor's, but fast and deadly. Each one piloted by fighters who had trained day and night for this moment. They were the Iron Vanguard. Raynor stood before the crowd. Thousands of humans stared at him, waiting. "This is our planet," he said. "They came to destroy us. They thought we were weak. They thought we'd give up." He looked at the sky. "But we are still here." The crowd roared. "They will hear our voice," Raynor said. "They will feel our fire. And they will remember this day, not as the fall of Earth, but as the day Earth rose again." The final assault began at dawn. The Earth fleet rained fire from orbit. Fighters flew in low. Tanks rolled in through the ruins. And the Iron Vanguard charged with Raynor leading them. The battle was chaos. Raynor's Titan cut through enemy lines, its blade glowing bright. Plasma blasts hit his shield again and again, but he pushed forward. Around him, the smaller Titans danced between buildings, blasting Xarn walkers and slicing through drones. Juno led ground forces through tunnels. Carter hacked into Xarn systems, opening gates, turning their own turrets against them. People across the world watched. Old screens came alive. Radios buzzed. From cities, villages, bunkers, and sea bases, humans listened to the battle. They cheered. They prayed. Some cried. And they fought. In France, humans blew up a Xarn factory. In Australia, they sank a battleship. In space, the last human ship rammed into a Xarn cruiser, taking both down in a fireball. Earth was screaming. And the Xarn heard it. Zeltak stood inside his flagship, watching the battle. His perfect plan was falling apart. His cold eyes narrowed. "Bring him to me," he ordered. "Alive or broken." The flagship began to rise into the sky. Giant engines roared. It was leaving the battlefield. Raynor saw it from the ground. "He's running," he growled. The Titan leaped. Boosters fired. It flew straight into the sky, chasing the flagship. Missiles fired back at him. He dodged, flying through smoke and flame. Then he crashed into the ship. Metal bent. Sparks flew. He cut through the hull with his blade, entering the beast. Inside, alien guards attacked. He fought them off, one by one, walking through fire, until he reached the core. Zeltak waited for him. "You are nothing," Zeltak said. "A dying race. A failed world." Raynor stared at him. "Then why are you afraid?" Zeltak screamed and rushed forward. The two clashed in the center of the ship. Zeltak moved fast, claws sharp, but Raynor's blade cut deeper. The fight was brutal. Raynor was wounded. Sparks flew from his armor. Blood ran down his face. But he didn't stop. He remembered Earth. He remembered the screams, the fire, the people who never got a chance to fight back. He screamed and drove the blade straight through Zeltak's chest. The alien gasped, eyes wide. And then, silence. Raynor stood there, breathing hard. But the ship was falling. Explosions shook the walls. The engines were gone. It was crashing straight down. Raynor turned to leave, but the exit was blocked. The AI spoke in his ear. "There is no escape." Raynor smiled weakly. "Then let's make it count." He sent a final signal to the fleet. "Target locked. Fire now." The Earth warships aimed their biggest cannon. They fired. A giant beam cut through the sky, striking the falling ship. A massive explosion lit up the clouds. The flagship was gone. And so was Raynor. The battlefield below stopped. Every human froze. The Iron Ghost had fallen. For a second, all was still. Then the AI spoke again, through every screen, every speaker, every Titan. "This is the voice of the Iron Ghost. I am Raynor. I died for Earth, but Earth lives on. Stand tall. Never kneel. The war is not over until we win." The sky turned blue. The Xarn began to retreat. One by one, they left the planet. Earth had done the impossible. The resistance cheered. The people cried. And in every city, they built statues of the Titan, of the man who refused to fall. And the galaxy would remember this. Humanity was never truly defeated. Not when they had courage, not when they had hope, and not when they had the Iron Ghost.